Javier? Javier? Javier?
Hey, don't come in here.
What what are you doing, man?
I'm busy. Don't come in, dude.
Javier?
Dude, I'm busy.
What
Hey, hey,
what are you doing?
cranky. Dude, I'm
What
cranky.
what
Did you enjoy the skit? I know we did. But anyways, today we'll be reviewing the Playdate, a quirky new little handheld by the company Panic. And to start off, we'll be dividing this video into a couple different sections, starting with what is a Playdate? Starting off, I want to get some cons out of the way about this thing. First off, the screen's a bit small. Standing at 400 by 240, it's a handheld, right? So maybe it's not the biggest deal breaker. On top of that, though, the screen is 1 bit, meaning that the only colors you're going to get are black and white, maybe some shades of gray. And largest of all, largest offender, it's not backlit. So if you're in darkness, you're not going to be able to see this thing at all. And you're probably going to always have to have some sort of light coming in. Speaking of. But yeah, the no backlight thing is a real deal breaker for a lot of people, and I totally understand. Now let's get into the inputs. We have 2 buttons, a D-pad, a home/pause button, the lock screen button, no bumpers, which I think is a bit of a miss. But to make up for that, we have a special, unique little input here, the crank. And that's what kind of separates this from a lot of other, handhelds or consoles is this thing. The question is, though, how useful is this thing? Like, what could this do for you that no other thing can? And the answer to that is not a crazy amount. You might be thinking, oh, a fishing, I bet you could do like a fishing thing where you reel it in and there's not many fishing games with people. I mean, like demos, right? Like simple little fishing things, but yeah, it's surprisingly not utilized too much. But it's a neat thing. It's a neat little gimmick for sure. Just not really a selling point. But yeah, that's the console. And along with it, you could buy one of these. It's a separate purchase. Speaking of purchases, you might be surprised at how much this thing is. Right, I'm playing this like in car rides or just at family gatherings. People are asking me, "Man, that's a cool little thing. Wow, how much is that thing?" And I'm always just kind of ashamed to admit how much I spent for this. So I kind of just like dance around the subject and say, "Oh, how much you think it is? Oh yeah, that's around what I paid, even if it's more than $100 off or something." But yeah, the sale price for this is $179.99. Right, and that is a pretty hefty thing. And if you want this thing, it's another $30 on top of that. I want this little case, which I do recommend the case. Right, it just kind of attaches nicely and it closes, and you keeps it in your pocket if you're gonna carry this around with you. But you're probably thinking, man, with all those drawbacks, where's that? Why does it cost so much? Well, in our next topic, sorry about that, we'll get into games because 24 games are included with that 179 price tag. 24. I don't have that many fingers. 24 games. Let's talk about those. All right. So games, right? Got a lot of those. I don't know how well that looks on the screen there. I could even raise this volume a bit. A lot of little quirky things about this. But yeah. So you can even use the crank, right, to like maneuver around here to games. And yeah, there's definitely a great variety of games. Uh, my one issue with it, right? We're talking about pricing a bit ago. I wish that you could just buy these separately. Because 24 games, but what if you only like 4 of those games? It's like, this doesn't really add up to me in my head. But I get what they were going for, though, and it's a bit nice. Just waking up in the morning and. Because the games, by the way, I forgot to mention this, they're delivered to you on a weekly basis. You just wake up, and every Monday morning, you'll see a little blue light on here. And it's like, whoa, a new game, and it's like a fresh new experience. And throughout this, I've had this for a while now, and it's always been just fun, just seeing what new game they're gonna add. But yeah, I'm not really here to review the games. I will say though, one of my favorite games is actually not one that's part of that package, but one that people in the community have made. One by the name of Bloom. Very nice, only $10. And on the subject of community, I think that is probably one of the best parts of the Playdate is the community. They're constantly, if you go, like there is no store right? There is no like eShop or whatever you want to call it on the Playdate itself. If you go to itch.io, there's like a Playdate section of people just making games just out of their. Some people just release them for free. Some it's like usually like $10 or less for just neat little games that the community is just making on the daily. And I have like a ton of those, just like all these like fan made by the community Playdate games, and they're kind of just carrying the whole console for me, frankly. They even have a little Discord where they all just get together and just like discuss. It's like, hey, how do I do this? Or have you seen this? So if you ever do get a Playdate, I would recommend joining their Discord server. When I get a new gadget like this, I always like to see like what I could squeeze out of it, even if it's like kind of pointless, even if it's a bit useless. Like I got a little pocket reader on the Playdate, and it's nice being able to just get a book, go through it with by cranking the thing. It's not needed, right? Like, of course, you could use your phone for like I also have a timer on this. You could use your phone for that. It's just nice knowing that I have the option and I'm able to just go crazy with this and just add a bunch of little apps onto the Playdate. And that's not for everybody, but it's just if you're like me and you're like getting the most out of it, just a little thing that you can do with the Playdate. But how do you get those community games onto your Playdate? So from itch.io, you could download it and just as simple as getting a little cable. I don't have one with me. Actually, yeah, just plug it into the bottom of your Playdate, plug it into your PC, and you could just like that, or even through Wi-Fi. On the Playdate website, you're able to link up your Playdate console and your like username or whatever for the Playdate website, and you could just through Wi-Fi install anything you download onto the Playdate. It's very seamless, and you could even stream. Like they make it very basically, it's very open. This platform, you could even stream it if you're a streamer. It's very nice. But yeah, on to the final chapter. All in all, it's not for everybody. It's a bit gimmicky. It's a bit of a novelty. It's definitely a bit pricey. But if you're like me, just like you wanted something different, wanted to spice up your gaming life or even just your gadget life, I recommend it. I will say though, they are a bit. I don't know. Just if you order one now, it'll take a while for you to get there. But I think a lot of different, hand consoles and stuff are backed up right now. But yeah, get yourself a Playdate if you want one. There, it's pretty cool. Have a good day. This has been Javier signing off.